This is the Seven of Pentacles, and this is your free tarot teaching. And this card is all about patience. It is about seeing the fruits of your labour, but also assessing the fruits of your labour. Is there anything you need to tweak? So let's get into the symbolism of this card. And to begin with, we're going to talk about the man here. Now, obviously, he's been working in the garden, cultivating this bush or this plant, which is seen as his abundance. He's leaning on like a garden tool, like a rake or a hoe or something like that. And he's kind of lovingly looking at his hard work. This is to symbolise cultivation. He's looking at the thing that he's cultivating. He's, like I said, put a lot of hard work in it, and you can see the way he's resting on the garden rake, you know. He's obviously tired from all that digging. And he's now eagerly anticipating seeing the thing that he's worked so hard on come into fruition. And as you can see, there's some pentacles already growing on it. Now, the pentacles that are growing on the bush are symbolising, you know, potential future returns for the hard work that you've put in. The thing is, they're not quite ripe yet. They're still growing on the bush. There's one that's come off now, one that's ripe and ready to be used, but the rest of them, they still need time, they still need effort, they still need hard work. So this is symbolising basically that now is not a time to give up. Now is a time to continue with your efforts, reevaluate you know, what needs reevaluating, and keep on going so that you can yield a full crop, not just one thing. Also, kind of the lack of background. That's sort of showing the laser focus he has to the task in hand. He's not allowing himself to be distracted by anything. You know, his sole focus is on making sure that the seeds that he's planted are going to turn into a really, really fertile bush, because it is a bush in the picture, but metaphorically, it turns into a very fertile thing. Whatever the seeds are that you have planted, you're focused, and they're going to fertilise into something spectacular. So join me in the next video. We'll talk about the upright interpretations. Welcome back to part 2 of the Seven of Pentacles. So this video is all about talking about the upright interpretations of this card if it came out in a tarot reading. So basically, if this card was to come out, this card is saying now is the time to pause and reflect, but not to stop. So what I mean by that is it would be encouraging you to take a moment and to look at kind of what your end goal was when you began planting these seeds. Are you on track to reach that end goal? Or is there anything that needs tweaking slightly to, you know, get you to that point that you're looking to get to? Definitely not a time to stop, because if you stop, those lovely pentacle fruits on there, they're going to wither and die. If you're not going to keep tending to them and getting rid of the weeds and watering them, they'll wither and die. So it's not a time to stop, but it is a time to take a moment just to reflect. Is everything working out how you expect it to? Is there anything you need to change? Could you do anything to make it better or make it quicker? And not get distracted by anything else as well, to stay focused on the task in hand. It could also be talking about the need for patience, because he is patiently waiting there. You know, he's done all the hard work and now he's just waiting for the rewards from his hard work. So if this comes out, this could be talking about needing some patience in regards to something. It also, like I said, talks about hard work and perseverance. You know, you've done all this work. Why are you going to stop now? If you stop now, it just stops the flow. It stops the energy. Whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you're not going to achieve. So continue on as you were doing. And also talks about patience and needing patience. Because, you know, we have our own timeline, don't we? We all decide when we want things to happen. And the universe has a completely different timeline to ours. And everything happens exactly when it should happen. And that can make us very frustrated if we're not seeing results when we want to see results. I mean, I'll hold my hands up. I can be the most impatient person in the world. And Spirit have really sent me on a journey this last couple of years of learning the art of patience. Because the reward is always worth it. And usually is better than what is expected. But there is no point stressing about it, because the more you stress about it, the more it turns it into a huge thing that it doesn't need to be. Just allow it to be, and just be patient, and know that just because you can't physically see something right now does not mean it's not coming in. So the Seven of Pentacles very much talks about patience. So, I mean, if this was to come up in any sort of reading, whether it's love, health, finances, career, it very much is embodying those energies of, you know, things take time. You have to put the effort into things, and to be patient and just keep seeing the long-term goal. You know, nothing happens overnight. Sometimes it does, but, you know, it very rarely things happen overnight. And just to allow things to be, but don't take your eye off the ball. You know, don't stop everything you've been doing now and expect to get the same results, because you're not going to. But really, in a nutshell, that very much is the Seven of Pentacles. It's quite a simple card. So join me on the next one. We'll be discussing the Eight of Pentacles.